Hey there, music fans! Welcome to Lyric Secrets, the show where we unlock the mysteries behind legendary lyrics. Today, we're stepping into the haunting world of Hotel California by the Eagles. What's the real meaning behind this eerie classic? A dream? A nightmare? A metaphor? Join us as we decode the symbolism, stories, and interpretations behind this unforgettable track. Plug in, press play, and let's check into the mystery.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into a huge one, the Eagles' Hotel California.
Huge is right. It's way more than just, a classic rock staple from '76. It's still got this grip on people, still sparks debate.
Absolutely. And you've likely heard it countless times, maybe even have your own theory bouncing around.
That's what we want to do today, sort of unpack why it lasts. We'll look at what the band actually said, really pick apart the lyrics.
And explore all the different ways people have tried to make sense of it over the years.
Exactly. And maybe the most fascinating part is that there isn't one single correct answer. That ambiguity is key.
Yeah, that puzzle aspect. So we'll be looking at statements from the band themselves, right? And a close read of the lyrics.
Right. Those are our main guides. The goal isn't really to find the secret meaning, but more to understand why this song, this particular song, has such a hold,
Why it's still talked about and analyzed, even in an academic circle sometimes. It's pretty wild.
It really is. So where should we begin with a song this layered?
Good question. I think starting with the writers, with Don Henley and Glenn Frey, makes sense. What were they trying to do?
That feels like the best place, yeah. Their intentions, even if slightly different, give us a foundation.
Okay, so Henley.
Yeah.
He talked about it being a journey from innocence to experience, right?
He did. Which is, quite broad, but it definitely suggests a shift, maybe a loss of something, disillusionment perhaps.
Yeah, that idea of things changing, maybe not for the better.
And he got more specific, too. He called it a commentary on the dark underbelly of the American dream.
Ooh, okay. Strong words.
Yeah, and also excess in America. Remember, they were guys from the Midwest who landed in L.A. They saw it up close.
Right, the culture shock, the sheer amount of stuff.
Exactly. But crucially, Henley said, it's not really about California, it's about America.
Ah, so California is like the setting, but the theme is bigger.
That seems to be the idea. The hotel becomes this metaphor for the whole country, or at least a certain aspect of the American experience. Think about lines like Tiffany Twisted Minds.
Or Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, that points to that warped value system they saw.
Precisely, part of that dark underbelly.
Okay, that definitely broadens the scope beyond just, Southern California lifestyle. And Frey, his take was a bit different, wasn't it? More atmospheric.
Yeah, he described it as strange and cinematic. He even compared it to things like The Twilight Zone.
Wow, okay. So aiming for that surreal, maybe unsettling vibe.
Seems like it. And he mentioned the novel The Magus, too, which is also known for being really ambiguous. It underlines that they wanted layers, literal, symbolic, all tangled up.
And he actually used the phrase perfect ambiguity, didn't he?
He did, which kind of tells you everything. They wanted it to be open to interpretation.
So the shared ground seems to be this critique of excess, the darker side of the American dream, maybe centered in L.A., but standing for something bigger.
Yeah, that feels like a solid takeaway from their comments. The hotel isn't just a place, it's a symbol of all that.
Okay, so armed with that, let's get into the lyrics themselves, because that's where the real rabbit holes open up.
Definitely. I mean, the opening lines just set such a mood. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair.
Warm smell of colitas rising up through the air, instantly atmospheric. You feel the journey, the isolation.
And the exhaustion, right? My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There's this pull towards that shimmering light.
It feels inevitable somehow. And colitas, that word alone, people still argue about what it means.
Oh, for sure. Is it weed? A desert plant? Something else? It adds that immediate layer of mystery.
And the light.
Yeah.
It's alluring, but maybe a bit deceptive.
Could be. Then the arrival. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell.
That figure in the doorway.
Yeah.
Very symbolic, like a gatekeeper.
And then the mission bell, it brings in history, California's past, maybe spirituality, maybe colonization. It's loaded.
And the narrator's immediate thought, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Talk about setting up ambiguity.
Right from the start, it perfectly captures that uncertainty, the paradox of the place.
And then the chorus kicks in. So famous, so catchy.
Ooh, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. It sounds so inviting.
Almost too inviting. That repetition is kind of hypnotic.
It really is, like a siren song. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year you can find it here.
The promise of constant availability, constant temptation. But lovely place, lovely face. Could that be just surface level?
That's a common reading, a beautiful facade hiding something, well, less lovely underneath.
Okay, then the verses start painting this picture of life inside. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes-Benz.
Those lines are brilliant, aren't they? Tiffany twisted, that obsession with luxury, with things.
And Mercedes-Benz, great wordplay.
Yeah.
Like physically having the Benz from coming up too fast,
Yeah.
but also like mentally bent by wealth.
Exactly. It connects right back to Henley's excess idea, this hollowness beneath the shine.
And the pretty, pretty boys that she calls friends. More superficiality.
Seems like it. People as accessories. It paints a picture of a world rich in things, but maybe poor in genuine connection.
And what about the dancing? Some dance to remember, some dance to forget.
That line always gets me. It suggests this frantic activity, but maybe it's empty, just trying to fill time or escape something.
Yeah, desperate pleasure-seeking, maybe? Then the bit about the wine.
Ah, yes, the captain. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969.
That feels significant. What spirit are we talking about?
Well, the common thought is it's the spirit of the 60s, you know? Idealism, optimism, social change, all gone by the time the 70s rolled around, replaced by something else.
Cynicism, materialism.
Maybe. It's a really pointed line about a cultural shift.
And then things start feeling more claustrophobic, and still those voices are calling from far away.
Wake you up in the middle of the night, just to hear them say, followed by the chorus again.
It's like the hotel itself won't let you go, mentally, those voices.
Yeah, they represent that inescapable pull, whatever the hotel symbolizes for you. Addiction, fame, a lifestyle.
And then the line, mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice.
Yeah.
This sounds like pure decadence.
It does, but then immediately followed by, and she said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device.
Whoa, okay, prisoners of our own device. So it's self-inflicted. We built our own cages.
That's a huge part of it, I think. It's not just external forces. There's complicity. The choices people make lead them there and keep them there.
That adds another layer entirely. It's not just being trapped by something, but trapped by ourselves.
Right, and the final stanza gets even darker, more intense. And in the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast.
They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. The beast? What is the beast?
Could be anything, right? Addiction, greed, emptiness, the system itself. It's this unkillable thing at the heart of the hotel.
And steely knives. Obviously a nod to Steely Dan.
Seems very likely. A little wink to their contemporaries who also wrote complex, sometimes dark lyrics.
And then the escape attempt. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back.
To the place I was before. That desperate need to get back to something real, something innocent, perhaps.
But it's futile, isn't it? Because the Nightman steps in.
Relax, said the Nightman. We are programmed to receive.
You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Yeah.
Chilling. Absolutely chilling.
It's the final nail in the coffin, isn't it? That ultimate statement of entrapment. The Nightman could be fate, the system, addiction's grip.
Whatever keeps you locked in.
Mm.
Easy to enter, impossible to truly exit.
Wow. And because those lyrics are so rich and, like Frey wanted, so ambiguous, it's just spawned this incredible range of interpretations.
Yeah, let's touch on those. The big one is probably the American Dream gone sour, right?
Definitely. California is the symbol of promise, but the hotel shows the corruption, the disillusionment that can come with it.
Makes sense. And then just straight up hedonism. A warning against excess.
For sure. The 70s vibe, the luxury, the emptiness. It fits perfectly as a critique of that lifestyle.
Another popular one is the music industry itself.
Yeah, that one resonates with a lot of artists, I think. The allure of fame, the money, but feeling trapped by contracts, expectations, the whole machine.
You can see how that would fit. And addiction, of course.
Absolutely. The colitas, the spirit line, the feeling of being unable to leave. It maps very powerfully onto the experience of addiction for many people.
And there are others too, right? Like more out there interpretation.
Oh, yeah. People have suggested it's about a mental institution or making a deal with the devil, even purgatory or death itself. Some see it as a metaphor for a toxic relationship.
It's amazing how many different meanings people can find in it.
And I think that's why it lasts. It's not less powerful because it means different things. It's
Yeah.
more powerful. It acts like a mirror.
The lyrical Rorschach test. Yeah,
Yeah.
you see what you bring to it.
Exactly. And the way the song actually came together is interesting too. It started as instrumental, right?
Yeah, Don Felder's demo. Apparently he called it Mexican reggae,
Mhm.
which is unexpected.
Very. He was even surprised it got picked as a single, being so long and kind of different for radio back then.
And then Henley and Frey took that music and built the story, the lyrics, Henley handling most of the words.
Seems to be the case, yeah. Drawing on those observations of LA and Frey's cinematic ideas, Henley was apparently quite influenced by film and theater in his writing.
And that incredible guitar solo at the end. The duel.
That was Felder and Joe Walsh working off Felder's original demo ideas. Henley apparently insisted they stick close to the vibe of the demo for that part.
So a real collaboration.
Yeah.
And the Steely Dan influence we mentioned.
Right, with the Steely Knives line being a pretty direct acknowledgement of their complex, often ambiguous lyrics.
Okay, so it all came together to create this masterpiece of ambiguity. And that central line you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. It just cuts through everything.
It really does. It's the hook, the thesis statement, whatever you want to call it. It perfectly captures that feeling of being stuck.
Whether it's stuck in the American dream as they saw it, or hedonism, or the industry, or addiction.
It taps into that universal fear of being trapped, of losing control, of choices having permanent consequences.
It's so powerful it even spawned that phrase, the Hotel California business model.
Right. Easy to sign up, almost impossible to cancel. That shows you how deeply that idea has seeped into the culture, beyond just the song.
It's incredible, really. The song won a Grammy. It's always on Greatest Songs list, covered constantly.
It really is a cultural touchstone. You hear it in movies, TV. It keeps getting rediscovered.
And the fact that academics study it, that the band has had to legally protect the name, it just shows its weight.
Definitely more than just a song.
So let's just quickly recap the core ideas as we wrap up. The band's intentions.
Henley. Innocence to experience, the dark underbelly, excess, but applying to all of America. Frey. Strange, cinematic, aiming for that perfect ambiguity.
And the lyrical journey. The desert highway, the shimmering light, the mysterious woman, heaven or hell, the deceptive welcome.
Colitas, the mission bell, the shift from invitation to entrapment, the loss of the 69 spirit.
Leading to that feeling of being prisoners, unable to kill the beast, and finally, that inescapable punchline from the Nightman.
You can check out, but you can never leave. Encapsulating that central theme of entrapment across all interpretations.
Whether it's the American dream, hedonism, the music biz, addiction.
Or something else entirely. That multiplicity is key to its power.
And remembering it came from Felder's music, Henley and Frey's lyrics, Walsh's contribution, even that nod to Steely Dan, a collaborative effort.
Exactly, all feeding into this enduring enigma.
So thinking about everything we've touched on, the band's ideas, the symbols and the lyrics, all those different interpretations, here's something for you to chew on. What single idea or metaphor from Hotel California hits you the hardest when you hear it? And Abby, what does that resonance suggest about our own time, our own cultural landscape today?
That's a great question to leave listeners with. What does a hotel mean to you now?